Hey folks, what's up? Smail Mail here with my latest mod for a 2018 Royal Enfield Himalayan, the US model. It's this headlight right here. Way different from the stock. Here's what the stock looks like. Very functional, but a lot left to be desired with this. I've been really wanting LEDs for a headlight, and this had them. I picked this one up off of Amazon for $100. Okay, this was originally meant for Jeep Wranglers, Hummers. It's a pretty universal headlight. It fits in perfect on the Himalayan. It actually came with two because it was meant for a Wrangler, Hummer, other off-road vehicles, but obviously you just need one. Maybe someone more eccentric than I would be able to fit two on the bike. However, I'm just going to stick with the one for now. And I'm going to show you everything it does, what it looks like, so if you want to add it to your bike, you'll know exactly what you're getting into. So I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like now. Okay, so here's what the halo looks like at night. You can change all the settings with an app on your phone. It comes with the product when you buy it. You can get it off Amazon. I'll post a link in the description. I am in no way affiliated or sponsoring this product. I don't know who the creators are, who the sellers are. I don't know how long it's going to last. Some of the reviews in the description of the product were saying that the ring goes out or the headlights go out. There's absolutely no way to change those specific bulbs out, so hopefully the creator backs their product and they'll help you out if something like that does go down, but we'll see. We'll see how long this thing lasts. So the app right now, it's set on just plain white to the lowest brightness. Cool thing is, when you turn your bike off, whatever setting you left it in, and when you turn your bike back on, that's the setting it's going to come back to. So you don't have to turn on your phone and change it every time you start your bike, which I was kind of worried about. Anywho, you can change the brightness. Like I said, that's the first function I'll show you, and it gets extremely bright. Woof, there it goes. That gets so bright that I don't think it's going to come through very well on the camera, so I'm going to turn it way down. I'm going to guess right about there. It's going to come through on the camera all right, so I'm going to leave it right there. You can change the color of it several ways. There's a color wheel. Very simple, very easy to use, really cool. There's a color palette if you want to get very specific. And then there's presets down here, just normal colors, green, blue, yellow, etc., etc. And RGB is just straight up white. That's what I'm going to leave it on when I'm driving on the road. Legally, you can't have any colors extending. I think it's more than 70 feet from any vehicle on the road here in Texas other than white and amber. On here, I don't know where amber is. I'm fairly colorblind. I think maybe that's amber. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to play it safe, and when I'm driving, leave it on white. Also, if you leave it really bright, you're probably going to piss some people off. So, you know, be very considerate of other drivers and of the law. I'm going to leave mine probably at about that brightness. It doesn't really hurt my eyes sitting this close to it, so I don't think it's going to bother drivers. A couple other things you can do through this app. You can change the style of the light. So this is like if you're at a car meet or, you know, anywhere that you're not actively driving. You're not going to get in trouble for this as long as you know, some of these are kind of cool. They're very similar to cop lights. As long as you're not trying to impersonate a police officer or something, you're going to be okay. If you got kids or something, they're going to love this. It's really neat. It's a little gaudy, but it's really neat. So one of the options, pulsating rainbow, changes slowly from one color to the next. Every color it can access, it's going to change to that. You can also change the speed at which it changes from each color to the next. So I'm going to leave that on quick. You can see it cycles through them pretty quick. Rainbow jumping change, very similar, except it doesn't phase into the next color. It just straight up changes. White strobe, that's pretty neat, except when you got it on full speed, the lights don't get a chance to light up all the way. If you slow it down, it gets real bright. but obviously it's much slower. A lot more color strobes, purple, yellow, blue, etc., etc. Pulsating, it just switches back from one color to the next. This one's from green to blue. This one's from red to blue. Pretty neat. Pulsating white, you know, it just gets bright, dim, bright, dim, bright, dim, and there's more pulsating options, blue, yellow, green, red. And that's about all the functions in this section. Really neat. Again, really going to stand out if you use that at a car meet or something. Other options. You can make the lights dance to whatever music you play through the app. This is just a generic dubstep beat that came with the app, but good example. That's really cool. But also, you know, on the bike it doesn't work so well because the motorcycle has 0 speakers. It doesn't have a radio. I can't really see myself using it for this purpose. Maybe if I had a Jeep or a Hummer like the lights were intended for, it would make a lot more sense. You can bust open your doors and play some music while your lights dance to it. Or, you know, if you find another reason to use it, go right ahead. But in this case, I can't really see myself using that feature. The other thing, really neat but also kind of useless in my case, is this tape function. You'll see the lights move to the sound of your voice. Okay, that's really weird, but also pretty cool. Again, I don't know in what instance you would use this for. Maybe if you're a DJ or something, that'd be really cool. You bust out your turntables at a car meet or something. I'm not going to use it. If you can find a function for it, hey, it's there for you. Okay. Let's switch it back to just standard white. All right. So every light in here is LED. From the halo to the driving light to the brights. And I think I said it earlier, you can't change a single one of them out. So I bought this. It actually came with 2 of these units, and obviously on the motorcycle I'm only going to use one. So I have a backup just in case, but let me show you what the driving light looks like. Alright, so going over the headlight itself, I can tell you this top projector here, that's your driving light, you know, the light that's going to run at night. And this bottom projector here is your bright. I thought it was the opposite when I was putting it on the bike. Had it upside down at first, but it's not too difficult to flip back up. This top light points kind of downward, whereas the brights point kind of upward. And these little side lenses, the bigger lenses on the right and left, are again part of your driving light. And the smaller lenses on the right and left are part of the brights. I'll show you right now, although when I turn them on, it's pretty difficult to distinguish which one's on because they are extremely bright. But let's see if we can figure out how it'll look. So these are the driving lights. This top one and right and left big ones. Bright, this bottom one, and then the extra right and left big ones. Extremely bright. I'll go ahead and show you what they look like when the lights are off. Excuse the garage. It's extremely messy. Okay, so here's what it looks like when just the headlight, the driving light is on. Pretty bright. Way brighter than the stock light. And it's not adjusted yet. So when it's at the correct height, it shouldn't blind anyone. We're going to find out. Right now, I can almost guarantee you it would. It's probably pointed too high. And here is the bright, even brighter. Going to look really awesome in the night, especially if you're off-road. You're going to be able to light up any path in front of you. So yeah, that's what those look like. So I modified this actually with a switch that I believe comes on the Indian models of the Himalayans, but on the American models, We don't get the option to turn the headlight on and off whenever we want. We also don't get the option for hazard lights, which would be really cool. I don't know why they don't give that to us. I'm guessing it's an extra cost that they don't have to legally do, but whatever. I installed my own switch. See this on and off switch right here that controls whether the headlight's on or off at my will. Mainly I did this because if I'm at a car meet or something and I just want this ring running, I have the option to do that. Otherwise, when you turn the keys on, the headlight comes on. So, got my switch, got a little more control. Installing this, it took me probably 4 to 5 hours, but that was because I wanted this to look as clean as possible. If you notice from the exterior, you really don't see any wires sticking out. This took a lot of patience, work, and zip ties. Maybe if there's enough request for it, I can do a how-to video. But I'll kind of go over what I did real quick. So if you want to try to install this yourself, you have a better idea. I just went at this without any prior instructions whatsoever. So the headlight itself, the harness fits directly into what the stock headlight fit in. That's just for the actual headlight projector, side projector, and the brights. The LED light, you actually have to wire in several places, and you can do it. All the wires fit into the back of this housing unit. You have to jam them in there. It takes a good amount of work and patience, and it's a lot easier if you know how to solder, because I ended up soldering probably 7 or 8 wires in total just to shorten things up and clean things up a lot. You can see the switch wires go right down into there. A lot of the wiring harness was messed with right there, but still I basically put it back where it originally was. The main mess is consolidated here, just below the handlebars. There's a converter box, I guess, for the Bluetooth function that controls the LED ring. That's right here. Couldn't really find a good place for this. This is the best place I could find. I mean, you can jam it anywhere in there, but you just really have to make sure your handlebars turn completely free of obstruction from side to side. Otherwise, you're really going to mess some wires up, and it's very hazardous to have, something blocking your steering while driving. Like I said, lots of zip ties, lots of time taken, and, just a lot of patience. You can definitely find someone to install this for you, but I guarantee they're not going to take the time and care to try to make it look as stock as possible. Also, they're probably going to do a lot of damage in the area, because there was a lot of cutting to do and a lot of modifications to do. Another example is there's a grommet coming from the housing here that I had to cut in order to fit over the extra wires going into here. My guess is some aftermarket installers are probably just going to remove that grommet entirely. I mean, it doesn't need to be back there, but it could cause potential damage way further down the road. It's there for a reason. I wanted to keep it as stock as possible. So if you can, try to do this yourself. And again, if you guys want a how-to video on this, maybe if this video gets a considerable amount of views, likes, and responses, I'd be willing to do it. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to shoot me a message. I'll answer it as quickly as possible. And, like, subscribe. I'm going to try to do a lot more videos on the Himalayan. I got my gas tank involved, or my spare tank installed over here. I made a how-to video on that. I just haven't edited it and uploaded it yet because it's fairly long. So, I'll see y'all next time.